Hey guys, and I'm back with stuffed salmon part 2. The first one I did, I just stuffed it with like crab meat and a little bit of other stuff. This one is a little different. I think you guys are going to enjoy it, so let's just hop right into it. So I was contemplating on how to cut my salmon, whether I wanted to do it horizontally or vertically. I ended up doing it this way because I don't know why. I originally was like, I'm going to stuff the inside. I'm gonna cut pockets and stuff the inside like how I did the first stuffed salmon video. But then I realized, no, I'm going to just put the salmon over top of it since this is for y'all, I'm going to make sure I do a lot of it. So I cut it in halves, and then I put the one that is going to be on top of it and just cut the excess parts of the salmon off, if that makes sense. Just look at what I'm doing to see what I'm talking about. So now it's time to make our filling. So I added about 2 tablespoons of butter, and then I just chopped up some onions and red peppers, and I'm just going to saute that on a medium-high heat until the onions become translucent. Now I'm going to add in some flour. I tried to use measurements, y'all. I really tried to do better, but I couldn't do it. So I took about a teaspoon of flour, and I just added a little bit at a time, and I kind of eye it. So as soon as it starts to get pasty like, you're good. You can then add your cream cheese. I added about 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. I just took my big spoon and I just dumped about 2 tablespoons of cream cheese in there. And once you do that, then you just want to constantly stir it around, and then it's going to get clunky. Once it gets clunky, I just added some milk. God, I don't know how much milk I added. I just added a little bit at a time until it got to the consistency that I wanted. If you make too much filling, you can always put it in your refrigerator and save it for another day. You can use this same filling to stuff chicken. It doesn't have to be just for fish. I like this filling. I've stuffed it in chicken before, and I've also stuffed it in fish. So you want to continuously stir this until it gets to the consistency that you want. And mine was kind of like semi-thick, like slim thick. It was like a slim thick sauce. But once it gets there, we will come back and I will let you know what to do next. So now that our sauce is ready, I'm going to add in my spinach. You can add in as much spinach as you want. I added about 2 cups of spinach in. And then you just want to stir it around. At this point, you want to cut your stove down to a low heat. I did mine on like a simmer. The lowest heat that you can go on your stove, and I just constantly stir that around. And then once you incorporate your spinach, you can add in your crab meat. Again, add as much crab meat as you want. I'm a portion person, so it took me a minute to get the ratio right. You know, I be big on a ratio. Like, I want in every bite you to taste the crab meat. I want you to taste a red pepper or some spinach. I want you to taste everything in every single bite. So I tried to like make sure everything was even. So it took me a minute, but I got it down. And then you just want to add in your seasonings. I threw in some salt, some pepper, a splash of Old Bay, because with all seafood, I feel like it has to have Old Bay because I'm a Maryland girl. And then you want to add in your breadcrumbs. I just added about a handful because I had it in my hand. I didn't really measure it. I added a handful of breadcrumbs, and at this point I cut my stove completely off, and you can set this to the side until we are ready to use it. Now we move on to our salmon again. Back to the salmon. Now you can either cut a pocket and stuff it inside, or you can place it in between the salmon. I'm going to place it in between the salmon with you guys, since the other video I stuffed it in the pocket. So all I'm doing is taking in some seafood seasoning that I got from my local grocery store, and I'm just going to season heavily on both sides, and that's it. Now you want to add your filling. Once you put your salmon, of course, on whatever you're baking it on. I'm using tinfoil. You can use whatever you want to use. And you just want to add a good portion of that filling in between your salmon. Make sure you add a lot, because once it bakes, it kind of like dwindles down anyway. So I add a hefty portion to it. I even put it around the sides. Once you add however much you're going to add, you're going to place your second salmon on top of that, and then you're going to take some butter, and I just cut it into 5 parts. Put 1 on top and then 4 on each corner of the salmon. And then you're going to place it into your oven for about 12 to 15 minutes on 425 degrees. And once you do that, and it's 15 minutes later, it should come out looking like this. Y'all know I'm wrong, right? Do y'all see that thing glistening? Do y'all see that thing glistening? It's presentation time, because we all know presentation is key. I'm not even gonna do it with y'all today. So I got some broccolini that I really love broccolini, and I just steamed it with a little bit of salt and pepper and some butter, and then I'm just gonna that right there, that beautifully stuffed salmon, I'm gonna place that on top. And then that butter that we put on in our pan and our tin foil, you want to just drizzle that on top. All that extra grease and butter, drizzle it on top. And then you want to take a lemon, and I just squeezed a little bit of lemon juice, some fresh lemon juice, squeeze that on top, and then you have it. That's it. There's nothing else that you need to do. There is nothing else that you possibly need to add. If you want to eat it with a salad, you can. I ain't doing nothing else. I'm going to dive head first into this meal. Easy, simple, stuffed salmon part 2. I'm curious, which one do you like? Do you like this version, the second one, or the first version? I personally like this version better. Some people like the first version better. It just, I guess, all depends. But let me know in the comments below, and please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and wash them hands. And I will see you guys at the next video.